Hi guys, this is Oshi and this is gonna be my first impression walkthrough of the Steampunk Tarot, which I picked up as part of my winter collection. And I bought it pretty much early summer, so it's been a while that it's sitting on my shelf, but I was good and I didn't touch it. Okay, so I removed the shrink wrap from the cards as well because both were shrink wrap. This is a huge box. This is a huge and heavy Llewellyn style box, which looks nice. I appreciate how nice it looks on, on a shelf, but it's a pain in the ass because it's heavy. And I think my usual opinion about the guidebook, even though, at least this is not colorful, so that's different, gonna be the same, that it can be smaller, but we will see. Let's see, the inside is a removable tray, but we have a very useful ribbon and without it everything would slide around, so I'm probably going to keep it here, but we'll see. This is the inside as well, which is quite nice. It has a mustardy color to it. I mean, I like how it looks like a book cover, so I'm very much all for that. But I have a lot of decks and they are heavy on my shelf. So, my relationship with steampunk, it's a very weird one, and you can say that if you read steampunk that you're like, what, we don't claim you, and I would understand. For a long time I had no idea what steampunk was. I mean, that there was this separate thing, because everything that I read, and I'm trying to think back which steampunk books I read, but right now I can't. Golden Compass was one, I think. That's steampunk. The other one is the Mortal Engines. Mortal Kombat is the game. Mortal Engines is a steampunk. I was told, by website or whatever, that it's a sci-fi. So I never really knew that there was such a thing as steampunk when I was growing up. And when I found out that it was steampunk, there was this thing, steampunk, I kind of fell in love with the aesthetic. But for some reason, I didn't really found people who would recommend me books that were steampunk specific, and they were really good, because I don't know why I never ran into people who were steampunk enthusiasts, I guess. And when I tried to, look up the genre on Goodreads, I just didn't know which one to start with. So I have so many books I want to read already, so I kind of skipped that. But if you have, favorite steampunk books that you really like and you would recommend, mind you, I like sci-fi usually, so you can't really misfire with that. Please let me know. Please drop all the titles in the comments down below, because I would be very happy to read something that's really steampunk specific, especially now that I have the deck. I heard from others that they don't like this deck because they don't think that it's steampunky enough. Well, obviously it could be, I mean, I haven't seen the deck yet, but I think it would be really cool to have a steampunk style box and everything, so obviously, but just imagine the production cost for something like that. So maybe I won't like it either. Who knows? But like I said, I'm not a big steampunk. I don't have a big knowledge on steampunk, so I just have the surface level industrial feeling. Though some people said that the Deviant Moon for them feels steampunky, and for me it doesn't. Oh, I like your hat. Okay, Ali Fell is the illustrator. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if it's there's goth and steampunk, so yeah, I think there's a lot of things going into something like that, but we will see. To Andrew, what a brilliant idea. Wow, it's the first edition, but the 10th printing. So there was nothing changed. Okay. Okay, contents in a very pretty manner. Introduction, a bit about steampunk. That's really cool because not everybody knows, like I said, for example, me, about it enough. So, oh, Jules Verne, how do you say that? Verne in Hungarian. Mary Shelley. See? I mean, I read all of them, A.G. Wells, but I didn't know. Jules Verne was one of my favorite writers back then, when I was like tiny Oshi. Okay, Gail Carrier, we're gonna check him, I'm assuming. Cherry Priest Bone Shaker. Okay, so I appreciate, you know, actual recommendations. But yeah, I want this to be more than just, you know, novelty. I want it to be a usable deck. But I think it will. It looks like a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. So, but the book seems to have. I appreciate that there's more text than illustration, so it doesn't really feel like. Maybe, you know, it could have been made smaller, but oh, will I get a boyfriend soon? That's not the question how you should ask, but it's not a bad question though. Should I marry Susan? Huh? Well, if you need to ask that, whose space? You don't mean it that way. You know, I always say that I think at least that, you know, if you go to a tarot reader and you ask them if you should marry someone, then the answer is no. Because if you want to marry someone, then there's a ritual, practical concerns, and you even know. 1, 2, 3. That's a pretty song. DIY techniques. That's quite a lot of introduction on how to do a reading. So the basics are really well. I mean, okay, I don't know if it's well written out, but there's a lot of words. But it's Barbara Moore, and all I heard about her is just good things. People always praise her for having really well written guidebooks and, you know, decks and stuff like that. So I have expectation, not gonna lie. The Fool. So first major arcana. Oh yeah, I was unsure if there's an illustration. Black and white, but I don't mind. There's a core meaning, not upright or reverse, a core meaning. I like that. I like core keywords. The moment before the first step is taken. And you have to make that decision to, you know, take that step. Oh, look at that. Okay, it's a very lengthy description as to what the Fool means. That's very nice. And then there's a reading tip. Oh, I like that. The idea of fresh starts and new beginnings in the Fool is emphasized in one or more of the aces or pages are also present. Emphasized. Okay, sorry. So let's go back. The idea of fresh starts and new beginnings in the Fool is emphasized if not, you know, if one or more of the aces or pages are also present. I like that because when you start reading, one of the biggest challenges is how to read the cards you have all on the table at once, and that's a very good tip. I mean, I was, you know, okay, let's not ruin the cards for us. I mean, spoil. So I was told back then, you know, like if there's a tower but there's a wheel of fortune, then that emphasizes more of that. You're gonna get out of that situation in a positive way. Okay, where is it? Where does it end? Spreads. A great introductions. What does it even mean? The rigor basics. Okay, 1 card, 3 card, adaptable spreads. Oh, panoramic photograph. Ooh, I like that. There's quite a lot of spreads, different engine. I like that. I like that. And there's a sample reading and the farewell. I like this. So obviously I will go through the book, but as you can see, by the time I spent quite a lot of time on the guidebook just by now, I usually go through it quite quickly. But I think this is a very well written guidebook, which could be useful for someone who starts, or even who reads a lot, because you can always learn something. So it would be quite entitled to think, I think, anybody, even who knows, doesn't matter how many times or how long your practice is going on for, that you can never learn. And all my favorite tarot people are always emphasize on learning, constantly learning. And that's something that I love about tarot, that it's a lifelong journey. Because turns out contrary to my earlier belief, I love learning. But you don't care about that, you care about the cards. So as per usual, flip through is going to be down below. So if you don't care about what I think about the cards, just watch that. Okay, so we have a chimney sweeper as the Fool, who has its own empire. And I always think about oh god, I wanted to say quickly and now the name escaped me. You know who I think? Mary Poppins, when I see a chimney sweeper. So this is the back, so it's not reversible, but I don't care, and I like it. It's steampunk enough for me. But it's interesting that this has a back border, which but this doesn't. So it makes it a bit harder to trim if you want to do that. I'm not sure, because it's I really don't like the cardstock. It's the same as the Raven's Prophecy was, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel very... I mean, it feels like if you accidentally bend a card, it's going to stay that forever. And it's smaller. I mean, I shouldn't pull a black card because you can't see anything. Let's see. Sacred Oracle, Sacred Creator's Oracle is the same size as the standard. So it's... I was thinking that it's thinner, but it's just smaller, which I don't mind. You are lighter. Yes, we are. Okay. So this was the Fool. The Magician looks very interesting with that goatee. But ooh, pentagram. There's nothing inherently steampunky on him, but I like his position. It's more like a vampire, to be honest. I mean, with that hand, or a matador, But I like that, this is the line that he drew, and it's isn't it like a sort of like challenge you to a duel or fight. And there's a lot of smoke behind him, which is not bad. And I like the, whatever it's called, sign. Oh, you don't come to my channel for proper English. You know that by now. I mean, one of the, obviously, cards that I always check is the High Priestess. Because if I don't like the High Priestess, I have to think a lot, if I want the deck. And look at her cards. I'm sorry, but I really like the back of her cards. I mean, this is good, but getting something like that with actually wide borders, it would have been better, I think. I mean, steampunk doesn't necessarily have to be that dark, even though there's this idea of, using the lamps, oil lamps, and all the smoke and the industrial and whatnot. It has that darker feeling, but for the cards, I think white borders would be quite a nice contrast. or you know, borderless, bigger artwork, the usual. But yeah, I like her reading cloth as well, and obviously her clothing. I wish I could wear something like that. I know it's a pain in the ass, but it would be fun. Ooh, we have the Empress who is using magic. I mean, I'm gonna call that magic. So yeah, I can see steampunky feel is usually just let's slap a few cork wheel or cork whatever it's called on everywhere, and then we're gonna call it steampunk. So yeah, like here in the clock, so I can see the criticism. There is going to be a Lenormand coming out, and I might not going to get it after all. I mean, I was quite excited for it, even though I haven't started working with Lenormand at this moment when I'm filming this video. I like the keys here, but I think I'm gonna pass because I have the Celtic Lenormand. I'm getting the Lenormand for the Shadow Lantern when there's another little monster Lenormand on making playing cards, which I want, and that's already 3, and I have one that I made. So do I need more? Not really. The Hierophant, an old guy teaching the young. I like that one, but you know, in nature, and not there's nothing steampunky in this one, for example. Like you could have put this whole in the industrial area, like in an actual factory, or you know, teaching the young workers, for example, or I don't know, on top of a building as a factory owner or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind. It just has that Victorian style, but maybe this deck is going to be worth getting for the guidebook more. I mean, you can use it, it's the Lovers, but I mean, not much of a choice for me. But ooh, okay, first one that I actually like and I feel steampunky about is the Chariot. I like these creatures. Okay, this is a good one. Oh, look at that little lion. Okay, what's going on? Ah, look at that. There's a... It looks like the lion is bleeding black blood because of the, error or whatever it's called on the card itself. Because I was like, why is it, bleeding black? When I realized that no, it was some misprinting stuff. I mean, if the lion would have bled oil, that would have been cool, because then it would have been a machine. Okay, I like the Hermit's lantern, which is Sun Club, whatever it's called. Not that. You know what I mean. You always know what I mean. And yeah, for example, this is a good one. There's London, that industrial feel, and there's all these used and unused corks. So there are a few ones that are made better than the other cards. Though I just say it out, like my spoiled. I've seen a few decks and I'm not an artist, so please don't think that my criticism is coming from a bad place, even though if I sound like an entitled a-hole, it's because I am in this case. But for them this was steampunk, okay. They are not touching. Look, they are not touching. It's not going to move if they are not touching. Do you know those games where you have to put together the course, so it, you know, the wheels, so everything moves, which reminds me of one of my favorite games, the first Siberia. And it's such an old game that I can't make it work anymore on my Windows 10 doesn't, you know, I tried it in a virtual place and whatever, and I can't play it anymore. And really liked Siberia. It was such a cool game. Oh, let's see. What do we have? We have, I think that's the, looks like the High Priestess. I don't know about that. Yeah, there's someone on a horse, so there could be a knight, and I don't know that either, but Justice. Interesting that we have the cards as well. You know, we have the fortune and, you know, your virtue on a scale, but we also have the cards here, you know, like here I can either help you or I'm going to tell you of fortune. Oh, okay, so yeah, the Hanged Man is there. Ooh, I like when they use actual cards. Typical Hanged Man. Even though, interestingly, nature is holding him at place. Okay, not so typical Death. Okay, Temperance has more appropriate attire. Nice wings. I like this Temperance, it looks nice. The Devil is a big ass robot. Who's controlling those who can take him apart, I guess. So this is the future, you know, when AI start rising. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. By the way, anyone is excited for the Foundation TV series? Not just because Timothée Chalamet is in it, but because Foundation. Maybe it's better be good, or I'll be mad. The Tower. It's good. I like it. It feels kind of like, you know, the tower itself is a sore spot on nature, and nature is like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of all the industrialist people because they are effing with me. The Star, I like the colors. I mean, this clothing, this dress could be really heavy, I'm just saying. The Moon. Haha. That's a good one. Oh, and there's a cat. Look at that. A cat and a dog. You have the Sun with the same dog, so yeah, it's the same. The Fool is in the Sun. So he found happiness. Nice. Judgment. Haha. Ooh, I like that one. The Megaphone. It looks like there was a car crash. The Word. Interesting attire. Okay, Ace of Wands, more not pippish, just more metallic, I guess. The Two of Wands, typical, looking over, deciding. Very interesting. This is the second Three of Wands that uses Three Wands to focus. This is the same as it was in the Mermaid Tarot as well. Because I really don't read the Three of Wands. Like I read the Two of Wands as that place where you have to decide where to go, and the Three is the first step on the journey. It's not still deciding or focusing or whatever. Interesting. Four of Wands, getting ready to celebrate. And picking up tarot card. Or oracle, because it looked big. The Five of Wands. The Six with a mechanical horse. I think this has more of the steampunky feel, you know, more industrial, more in the city. For steampunk, I have not enough air, at least not here, maybe in the swords, and too much nature, to be honest. Seven of Wands. That's a good one. I mean, the Eight. What are we shooting at though? The Nine. Okay, Nine of Wands, looking somewhere. Actually not noticing that your hand is almost on fire. Okay, Ten of Wands. I mean, she looks too pretty to be bothered by all the wands she's carrying. And she doesn't seem, you know, either tired or whatever. So maybe this deck reads the Ten of Wands differently. But there are other tarot cards we can later check. This is the Two of Wands. They're very, very nicely done. So, I mean, let's check what the Ten of Wands is. You can recognize the cards, even in that small size. So the quality of it, it's really nice. You know, it's not blurred or anything like that. It has new book smell, by the way, the usual new book smell. I mean the guidebook, just in case someone is interested. Okay, where is the Ten of Wands? Ten of Wands, the core meaning is carrying a large burden or many burdens. Okay, well, to be honest, I don't look like that when I carry too much burden, but maybe it's just me. Okay, well, I don't sign up for, you know, everyone needing to be pretty just because it's a fantasy or sci-fi novel. The Page of Wands with a robotic arm. Okay, this knight was on one of the cards. I like their clothing, you know, this coat is really cool. There's just so many stuff that I would love to wear, but I can't. Most of them are not made for big boobed fellas. Just saying. Look at that horse. I mean, I'm sorry, but the horse is prettier. Oh, there's a fox. The queen can be sly. In a good way, you know. A bit too young for my taste for a queen. Because I always think about that, you know, that girls were married off really young to old dudes back then. Not so long ago, so it's kind of like still a bit icky for me. When I see that, you know, they are supposed to be counterparts and one of them is really younger than the other one, it's just like, can we not do that? Ace of Cups with a fountain. Ooh, I like this one. Two of Cups. Yin and Yang. And sort of like the snakes on the staff, you know. Medicine or whatever it's called. I like that they are, you know, creating something together, an experiment, which indicates, you know, work as well, not just like, oh, I'm gonna declare you my forever partner and then everything is fine. 3 of Cups. That's good. Having a relaxing night. Ooh, he was not invited. He rather drinks by himself, even though he could join the others. That would be so much nicer, but he's like, nah, I don't care. 5 of Cups. I don't think he needs those extra 2 cups, to be honest. 6. See, this is better, because there's a lot of smoke and, you know, pollution and whatever, and dirt and blah, 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 even though the clouds are too white or whatever in the background. But, you know, he offers flowers which are rare and precious in the city. Look at that dragon. The dragon looks really nice. 7 of Cups. The snake looks unhappy. No ghost. A heart, a fish sort of thing. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a rat reef. A castle. But the dragon is winning. 8 of Cups. Interesting. What is she walking away from? Failed experiment, maybe? Oh, best is wine spirits. Ooh, 9 of Cups. Having your own establishment. Or your cups are filled and you fill them up. That's cool. A 10. Okay. It feels more like a date than a marriage, I mean. But, you know. Page of Cups. Yes, thank you. It's something at least flying in the background. Okay, but why are they so similar? I mean, just because she has a staff with a horse, that doesn't really give off that night feeling for me. But that just could be me. Okay, we have the cover girl. The Queen of Cups. Oh, okay. It could have been a 2 of Pentacles with cups, you know. It's a good queen, by the way. King of Cups. I mean, it's not too specific. Ace of Swords. Creating a sword, okay. 2 of Swords, very interesting. A ballerina. Not necessarily something that I would imagine as a 2 of Swords. The 3. Yeah, this idea I like, you know, that the corks and the wheels stop because pain, or, you know, the sharp pain that sword is sword was inserted in them, and in order for it to move again, to work again, you need to remove them and heal the heart in a way. 4 of Swords. Buttons. I don't know, I can't read the underlying one. The 5 of Swords. That's interesting as well. Six of Swords, now we're talking. I like this one. Seven of Swords, yeah, stealing all the swords. Okay. I mean, if you carry swords like that, you're gonna cut your hand. Just saying. The 8. Mm-hmm. 9. The 10. I mean, it's very unlucky, you know, to triple fall and then suddenly 10 sword is in you. But the sun is rising in the background. In a way, signaling that even if, you know, someone is gone forever, the sun is going to rise. And I don't mean it in a bad way, I just mean it that life goes on. And it should be, and it can be humbling. Page of Swords, ready to get on a hot air balloon, which I really like to go on a hot air balloon ride. I still haven't for some reason, I don't know. I should. Maybe because I've seen too many accidents with hot air balloons on the news. But yeah, I kind of still want to go. 9 of Swords. In the snow, but with zeppelins over there. Cool, cool, cool. Why is she so delicate? Hold that sword, honey. Better. Come on now. You're better than this. You're a queen. I don't like this queen, I'm sorry. I mean, she's beautiful, but I don't see her as a strong person, because whoever this person is, they are holding her hand, and she's not holding the sword as stable and as it should be. She's holding it as a knife. You can't lift it if you hold it like that. I'm kind of critical with Queen of Swords and King of Swords, because those, you know, this is my suit. This King, for example, is a good one. I mean, I would, you know, with Titanic and everything, I would imagine someone who's making plans, who knows, you know, who's playing that game, so to speak, see a few steps ahead of everybody and knows what to do. Onto the Pentacles. Ooh, I like that hand. But the Queen, no, not necessary. We will see how it performs. Maybe after I'm reading the guidebook, I will fall in love with her. Who knows? 2 of Pentacles, very good 2 of Pentacles. I appreciate this. The 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, we have other tarot cards. I think that's the Wheel of Fortune. Not sure about that, the other ones, but I will find that out. I will try to make notes for my 6 months in video and identify all the cards. That would be fun. 4 of Pentacles, yes, saving up. The 5. This card could be used in our live with Richie about drama queens in tarot, because it's a bit more of like a grandiose. I'm gonna go in the snow alone stuff. He's not, but she's a bit more like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check my live streams. That was a very fun live stream we did with Richie a few months back, when you are seeing this one. At the end of July. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. Please, lady, don't be so mean. Share. Seven of Pentacles. Look at that beard and mustache. Could have been more of a running an experiment though. The 8. Ooh, look at that. Doesn't it look like M&M's? I mean, I'm sorry, but he's embellishing the pentacles with M&M's. Which I don't mind, but... And he has hot chocolate, so... Now I want M&M's and hot chocolate. A 9 of Pentacles is quite a usual one. Though, can you hold such a heavy bird like that? Ooh, then you're strong. The 10 of Pentacles with a Marseille. Oh, interesting. We have Marseille. 10 of Pentacles. Right? That's Marseille. I mean, it's a paper deck, but I think it's Marseille. 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. And I appreciate that. Though, why is she checking that card? Because that's not her, so... And she doesn't seem happy. Interesting. Is she reading for someone else, or why is she not happy for them? I would be. Some elements in these cards are confusing at first, so hopefully the guidebook answers all those questions. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so there's snow in here, so there's not a direct correlation with seasons with the suits. Knight of Pentacles, Explorer, okay, that's a good one, which I usually like in my tarot because I do that. The Queen of Pentacles. She could have been the Queen of Wands. Who was the Queen of Wands? King of Wands. I mean, on a horse with the sunflower, I might have changed them, to be honest. I mean, she's a good Queen of Wands, but she could have been a good Queen of Wands as well. Even though Queen of Wands, elegant and lavish and whatever, but I don't know. Feels more of that paying attention to me attitude that I associate with the wand. And the King of Pentacles, yeah. The kings are better, I mean, for me, just for me. That's how I associate them. Definitely in need of edging, if I'm gonna keep it, so I'm not going to touch it yet, because I'm not entirely sure that this stays in my collection for too long. Maybe this had to come into, for me to have access to the book. Or, you know, who knows? I mean, she's beautiful. I like her. I might, you know, learn to love this deck. Who the hell knows? We will know when I post my 6 months in. But thank you so much for watching this very long first impression. Please, if you have the deck, what is your experience? Did you post a video about it? Because I would love to see it. So, as per usual, share it with me. Just, you know, let me know. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you know when I go live. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a lovely day and see you in the next one. Bye.